quickly introduce you to Anthony and Tiina Maija. They are both our co-facilitators. Tiina Maija joins us from Middle East, Riyadh, and Anthony is in New York. Now start with a little introductions about who we are, and then we'll go into why are we here, and that will give you more clarity on what you will experience through the rest of the session. I'm Shalini. Like you, Tunga, I live in Bali. I've actually lived in Indonesia 30 years. Just moved to Bali a couple of years ago. All three of us, Anthony, Tiina Maija, and I, are deep into transformation. I think one of the most transformational experiences for an individual or a group is a transformational retreat. So that's what we offer here together. My background is originally marketing finance, but then in this field of systems, people, and team transformation for 15, 20 years. Also an executive coach. I deliver a lot of work with McKinsey and a few world's leading leadership and coaching.
So Shalini and I have gotten to know each other through corporate facilitation work we do, leadership consulting, running top team workshops around the globe. We had the joy of doing some of these together in Hong Kong, and we've done other global trainings together. I have come to this work originally from being a meditation teacher in Australia. I've had a varied career, and Bali's been part of the turning points in my career. I was a lawyer, and it was about 30 years ago, and I quit law and became a feature film producer. So what I love about the work that I do is not only can it be hugely impactful, but it's about turning up the light inside people's eyes, bringing people to greater connection with themselves, their own yearning, that spark of purpose and joy that we all have within us, that sometimes can be, turned down by the pressures and distractions. Being able to co-create these retreats is something that I'm really, really thriving on, because it is that part of that deserves more than just being and productive, but can find out more about what truly calls us. So that's just a little bit about me, and I'm now happy to throw over our other global colleague, Tiina Maija.
Thank you, Anthony. I started my professional life. I originally studied and started my work in hospitality. So I worked for local and global and regional hotel companies for over 10 years. And that also shifted me from my native Finland to the Middle East nearly 30 years ago. While I loved that work, and I specialized in guest experience and in revenue management, so it was always two really opposite things in a way, like purely IQ, very numbers and performance focused, to guest experience. And I found that I thrived for a while on the getting promoted and getting further in my career. But then at some point, and the turning point for me happened in a management retreat in 2005, where I really realized that I am not at all doing what really fulfills my soul. I'm just doing what I think I should be doing and what's expected of me. And then when I started digging a bit deeper, I realized that no one else is expecting anything. It's just me. But I am totally driven by what I think I'm supposed to do, and totally lost touch with what actually makes me joyful and happy and fulfilled. And that started my search for what else might there be for me to be in this life and do in this life. And our paths joined, Anthony's, Shalini's, and mine, through a mutual spiritual teacher that I met 7 years ago, nearly 8 years ago now. Through her teaching, that was another major nudge moment, that I really realized that there is another side to me, to who I am and what's my purpose. Also, from my own near burnout years in corporate world, I really got closely in touch with that how hard life can get when you get too busy just trying to do, and you forget being. That impact that stress has on us, we let it get too much. So in the past 8 years in earnest, and probably another 10-12 years before then, I have been looking for ways and finding ways what works for me, so that I can reach life in a more holistic and whole way, and not let stress take up too much stage and space. As Anthony said, and Shalini also echoed that about the retreats, the beauty of this kind of work is that it really focuses on the essence part, the really being part in the human. and to offer a pause, offer a little moment of away from all the busy. That is also important and part of life, but to remind ourselves that there's also other things in life.
Thank you, Tiina Maija. And we have another participant, Alpna. Hi, Alpna. Welcome. You were just doing the introductions.
Hi, lovely to be here.
So over to you, Tiina Maija, to lead now our participants into a check-in.
Thanks, Shalini. So we'd love to hear from you who are online with us now. Usually in any start of a meeting, this is a good practice to have, is to do a check-in. And the purpose of the check-in today here on this call is that we'd love to hear everyone's voice who is on the call. What is in the check-in this time is your name, where it is that you are calling from, and then also what is it that calls you to be here? What's the inspiration for you to have joined the call? We'd love it to be beyond the because so-and-so told us to be here, which is also important, but something beyond that, what might have inspired you to be here. So I would now love to invite, is it Tunga? Am I saying it right? It's Tunga.
Thank you, Tiina and Shalini and Anthony for the introduction. Very lovely to meet all of you. My name is Tunga. I'm calling it from Bali. I'm Indonesian. And what brings me today to the call is feel recharged and get inspiration to be a conscious leader, because I think I'm not that young, but I'm not that old. I would say I'm still have a long career and I want to make the most impact for myself and society that I live right now. So would be good to planting the seeds from now. Thank you.
Thank you, Tunga. And Alpana, may we also hear from you, your check-in?
Hi, my name is Alpana. I come originally from India, but I've been in Singapore for the past 25 years. Been in the education industry. I'm an artist, as well as do pranic healing. So it's healing with no touch. It's just energy healing. Shalini, I've known Shalini for a while, and she's absolutely inspirational as a person. And Love is also family and friend, as I would say. So very, very intrigued with what they did, and just watch their transformation has intrigued me and kind of want to understand more what you'll do and whether that would be something that would align with what I am all about. So this particular check-in for me right now is just an understanding of what you'll do and how it could fit into my life and how it could better me as a person.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thanks for joining us today, Alpna.
There are three of us here, transformational facilitators. What we have experienced ourselves and what we guide people through is connecting with where am I? Because often we move through life so quickly that we don't know where we are and what's happening. And yet there are these moments, maybe when we are walking by the beach, maybe when we look at a flower, maybe sometimes we look at the moonlight and we are wondering, like, who am I? What is my purpose? Why am I here on this earth? Why do I do what I do, including the things that I contribute with, and also things that are limiting me. And Anthony's a mindfulness meditation teacher. I'm a meditation teacher, Tiina Maija also. And we have seen experienced people going through these deep meditative journeys, and yet, they are small snippets. And we take people through these transformation programs, 1 day, 2 day, and some deep transformation happens at that time, but it's not sustainable. So a retreat is, in our experience, a time where we can truly step back, look at where we are, who we are, where is it we want to go. So it's an investment of time and effort and resources and energy in ourselves. And a retreat is a place that allows us to do that. It also allows us to connect with, like what we experienced in the retreat that we did in June, was that collective richness of everyone coming together and contributing their wisdom to help each other grow. That's what a retreat is about. A time to step back and look at where am I and where is it I want to go? What is the yearning, the little voice that sometimes wakes me up, sometimes awakens something in me that there is more to life, and how do we look for it? And this particular session, the Taste of Personal Mastery Retreat, is about getting a little flavor of what happens in a retreat. A question we find very hard to answer is, what is a retreat? What happens in the retreat? So you're going to experience for yourself just a teeny weeny bit of uh, the experience that happens in a retreat. And Anthony will lead us through.
We were just actually thinking maybe this is a good time to show some of the video. So we cut together at the space that we'll be at, the Narata Retreat Center, the east of Bali, inland, away from all the tourists. And you'll just get a little bit of a sense of what it looks like. Every retreat will be different, and it always depends on the participants itself. We are there in communion with the participants, and it evolves. You'd be surprised how much we sit around over breakfast, the three of us, and go, okay, today we will do X, rather than it being very, very rigid. And there's also a lot of space for reflection personally, for paired conversation, and for the group activities we do, meditation and yoga. And we'll give you a little bit of a taste of some of the rest of it later, but it might be helpful for you to capture the experience of some of the previous participants. So this will be just 4 different 1-minute clips.
Sorry,
Got it.
looking for Shalini, can I ask who is your meditation teacher? Tiina and also Anthony? Because I'm also doing that. It helps me a lot to be more grounded.
Peter Bellin, who is in her late 80s now. She is originally from the UK. She spent many decades in India and North America, and she now lives about 3 hours west of Sydney. She's pretty retired from the public work she does. She still does some advanced retreats with students that have been with her over many years. She is a dynamic, unique person who also took the personal transformational work and partnered with some senior executives to develop a business approach for it, which is how the three of us also find ourselves in the corporate world doing this deep transformational work.
Thank you.
We are so much drawn in the forest of business that we forgot there are a lot of trees there that provide us oxygen, and we just take it for granted. And with this retreat, it will bring us back. There is always a purpose. It's beautiful. This is a very, very safe environment, and you will feel the trust, the empathy. It's really sincere and genuine. I see like this is a people to people, person to person, and no matter how many people there, we all become one. It's like you will find the real you. Once you let it flow, it becomes a clear picture. So it's like a little puzzle. Then you put it together. What a beautiful picture it is.
That's a snippet of the Nirata place as well. And let me play the next one for you. Here's Michael from Australia.
Facilitators have been very generous with their time and caring and sensitive to changes in individuals. And the program's been flexible and has adapted to the changing dynamic of the group. For me, embedding in the whole program of meditation showed me that it creates clarity of thinking. And I also enjoyed the physical exercise of yoga, which was in harmony with that. An opportunity to set a new course in a beautiful environment, to build meditation into your life and decision-making processes, and be challenged if you want to change your life. I think the closing today is probably the highlight, to see the evolution of each of us, which has only come about because we shared with each other. We all took something from each other and gave something to each other.
I feel is the journey of learning, journey of transformation, and that's what really is top of my mind. I felt a safe space and a challenging, nudging, in a very caring and loving way. I've been coming to this place for about 14 years, and every time I come, it brings a new level of transformation in me. The nature, the surroundings, the people aspect of the serving here, the people who are serving, and the facilitators combined together, I feel it's very nourishing. This place, we are getting into story of our life, listening to ourselves, our old stories, and going through letting go of what is actually don't work for us, emerging of new, what is coming new for us. It was very well designed, and the journey was very much taking care of each participant's journey. Yeah. So we had a good laugh on the journey, a lot of time to be with yourself, to be with the nature, with the group. We all are a journey of transformation, whether we are aware or sometimes not aware. Anyone who is looking to expand their horizons, expand their way of being, doing, whether it is a professional field or in personal life, definitely should give intention to explore this work. Trust this whole process and these facilitators who are being there for you fully for your new transformation.
We have Daniela from Germany.
So we worked on our old understanding of self. And I have now a new picture of myself, a new story I can tell. And I can tell with confidence, I can see it, feel it, and embody it. I'm taking away that it's very, for me personally, very important to every now and then come back to some retreat, to retreat myself from my busy life and reflect on, is the way I am going really the way I want to go? Is that still aligned with me and my purpose, my calling, my being? And I'm taking a big amount of gratitude and joy with me. Give yourself the gift of taking the leap and dive into Bali magic with magical beings as facilitators and with the magic of nature.
So we dive into a little experience, work that we do. Maybe close your eyes and have a little bit of this experience as well. It's going to be a reflective and imaginative opportunity. One thread that we pull through the retreat is looking at the story of our life that we have lived up until now. And we kind of review it with a sense of curiosity rather than judgment. We look at what have been the highs and the lows, the challenges, the opportunities and joys, and just see that as sort of the river of our life that has brought us to this point. And then there's a space of being present to who and where we are now. And then one of the playful parts we do is we dream into the possible future paths without choosing necessarily any one of them. But we do what we call quantum, we imagine different possibilities of the different quantum timelines. So for example, we all exist as matter, as particles in a field. And we know from quantum science that it's actually, none of it is actually solid. Everything is possible until our attention collapses something from possibility into actuality. So we explore what it might be like to entertain different possible future paths, even if they seem to be in conflict with each other, until we have a sense of playfulness about what we might do with our lives, rather than a sense that we are contained to a particular track and path. So the space of retreating allows us to feel into where we are, who we are, what we have experienced. And then the transformational energy is around being at a place of choice and intentionality and mindfulness around how we go forward. So we won't go deeply into this now because it is something that's best done in retreat. But just for a few moments, a little guided process. If you feel comfortable to either close your eyes or just have them softly gazing downward rather than staring at the screen. I don't know if we're walking, it might be just about go for a not focusing on anything specific, but allow yourself to have a soft focus and just have the awareness internally. Have a sense of. I'll wait for Alpana to rejoin us. No worries.
Sorry.
That's okay. Welcome back. We've just been talking about the way that in the retreat, after looking at the story of who we are and where we have come from, and being present to where we are at that point in the journey in the retreat, that we do some playfulness with where we might go. Rather than committing to this is what I must do to be different, we play with the quantum timelines because everything is possible and there are many possible future ways we can be in the world, even if we don't know yet how. So the invitation now is to have a little experience of what we do with this playfulness of imagining future possibilities. And with the quantum world, as we were saying, everything is possible until our attention brings it into actuality. So if we can softly either close our eyes or gaze down, but just reduce the external stimuli, become a little internal, bring our awareness to the fact that how busy is our mind? Lots of activity in it. If so, can we just turn that down a little? Down with that activity in the head, and bring more of our attention to our breath, movement of the breath in the belly or the chest as we inhale and as we exhale. If for no other reason, just being present with the breath lowers the stresses on our system, allows us to sink into subtler frequencies and simply be, breathing in and breathing out. No concentration or control of the breath, just an easy, effortless awareness of the breath in the chest, rising and falling. And now just imagine from the point you are on this day, in this space you're at, cast yourself forward down any possible timeline. Imagine you're in a room with many doors, a circular room, lots of doorways, and playfully and with curiosity, just open one of these doors, and like there's a chute taking you forward a couple of years down the timeline, just notice what space you're in. What is going on around you? Where are you? What might you be doing? And this is not an absolute, this is a possibility. Play and see what's present for you in the space. Can you sense if there is another person or anybody else in or near the space with you? Can you notice any other features of the location that you're in? Just take a mental note of how you feel in this space, any visual that you see, and then when you're ready, simply release that vision, that timeline, and allow yourself to be back in that central room again with these easy doors around you. Back to our breath, breathing in and breathing out. And now choose another door, any door. Open it and allow yourself to be pulled along a chute some point into the future, a year or 2 or 3, whatever feels appropriate in this door, and notice who you are, what you're doing, where you are. and how it feels. Is there anything visual in this space? Are there any sounds? Any other sensations as you're exploring this possibility? If you were to describe to somebody what you're doing or being or experiencing here, what comes to you? Who, if any, other people are nearby? Are there any colors that stand out? And how does it feel? Taking a note of that, anything you wish to recall, return once again to the room, the circular room, with the doors of possibility. Breathing in, breathing out. Curiosity arising. A sense of playful possibility. Let's choose one more door, something completely different. Again, a year or two down this pathway, land in a spot that's interesting to you and notice where you find yourself this time. What is the location, the setting? How would you identify who and what you are in this space? Is there anyone else in this space, whether you can see them clearly or not? Do you have a sense of who they may be, what they mean to you? How does it feel? What features do you notice? What parts of nature might be present in or near this space? How might you describe this space? And again, how does it feel? How might you want to remember what this one is? And now releasing this one, letting it float away for the moment, always available to return to or focus on. Allow yourself to come back to the center room. Be back present with our breath. Now feel our feet connecting to the floor, the street, our room, wherever we may be. Connect to other sensations of our body, where we are in our present space. Feel a sense of gratitude for whatever this moment has afforded you, whether it be clear or confusing, whether it be hard or easy. Hold that, release that. When you're ready, softly open your eyes and return to this present space. Shalini, I'm not sure how possible this is, but I wondered if we might pair each of the three here with one of the three of us for a quick 5-minute, 3-minute check-in, or would it be easier to, is that possible? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So we were thinking of sending you off into pairs to have a discussion, but given the time, it might be simplest if you're willing, if we each just pair with one of you and you just share whether that was difficult, whether it's like, I couldn't do that walking down the street. There's no right or wrong. The experience would be quite different in a retreat, but just for you to give voice to whatever that experience was, no judgment, and we'll come back in 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm joining. Oh, Shalini is inviting me to room 1. See you somebody shortly. I think you can bring us all back. Okay.
Hey, Tunga.
Hi, Shalini.
How was it? How was the experience for you?
It was great. It was very recharged and
Hmm?
grounded. So I do meditation every day, and I do it because of at the beginning, as a lot I resonate what a lot of you and Tina and Anthony said. It's because of being an entrepreneur. It's you get easily burn out. You get da 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 da, and I feel meditation and mindfulness is my key to be like a better leader and be back to my core self. Who am I and why I'm in this life and what would I want to make a footprint before I die. So when having that practice, it's reminded me of like a few doors of my childhood and my partner. We just got married and our future. and the dream also for like career and life in general. And I really, really like it. I would say that Anthony is very experienced in doing that. I thought that, wow, everyone needs to have this, not just me, but like everyone that I know.
Thank you. So, which door, which lifetime, which quantum line attracted you the most? Or which one made you feel like, oh, okay, even this is possible? I didn't know that.
I would say the future of like me building a balanced life with my career and my family, like my partner and my family. If we planning to have children, let's say in the 3 to 5 years from now, that
Did you see any children in the timeline?
yeah.
Yeah, how many? Boys?
Yeah, I saw it. So it's very, very beautiful. I saw too, but you know, it's my imagination.
You don't know what's future is sending you.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
always feel with this mind, but there is a larger universal intelligence that speaks
Mm,
to us.
yeah.
Anything surprised you about the timelines?
I thought that I could not do it. Like, you know, and especially being a woman, you sort of like, oh, you need to lower down your ambition for career, or like, especially after having children. So what I see is like, it can work, you know, it can work of you build a fulfilling and meaningful career, but also at the same time taking care of your children and your partner. Like you need to work hard, I know, but it doesn't mean it's not possible. So that's what I see. And also I think I don't know, it's my reflection, because when I see you, and I'll also see myself in the future doing things like you're doing.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Because
Have you ever thought about doing that, or is this the first time it comes like this?
I think about it. I told my husband that I want to learn something about, because I practice meditation, and I really now an avid student of Buddhism, and I will do my first Vipassana this end of December in Bogor. This part of work really ground me and give me the meaning of life. But also I know like my entrepreneurial and all of expertise that I get in my career, I don't want to lose it. So I want to make a balance between like keep making the waves in my.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Shalini, for listening. Really appreciate it.
Welcome back. So that was very experimental to do something like that out of retreat sending on Zoom with people in different contexts. But just maybe we'll just take a minute to just share any reflections or insights from that experience going around the room. Who I was with Alpana, and Alpana, if I can just speak for you, you found it hard. You found it very easy to go deep, but hard to find focus out in the outer room. I think you said it wasn't blurry, but you had another word.
Well, it levitated. So it was very easy for me to connect with my higher soul instead of going down into a path, connecting into my higher soul very easily. And I found it hard to come back.
Rooting at the end, yeah.
And so thank you. And I am going to do it like I said, you know, I'm going to jump around a little bit and kind of ground myself at the end of this, because I am kind of floating.
Well, you know, our intention was for the participants to go on soul journey. So you made it.
It's his voice.
So it's my
Thank
voice.
you. Something.
Yeah. How was your experience, and who were you paired with?
I was with Tiina. Yeah. I was saying that it was very difficult for me to find focus to meditation hasn't really been something that I can figure out how it works. There's always so many things going on in the mind. So, but I really enjoy the part of just exploring the different rooms and finding out, just popping in, hey, what's inside here? And I think that's a very interesting experience. Yeah. I
Right.
like to open more doors and see what's going on.
Terrific. Thank you for that. Tonga.
I think there's a lot that I shared to Shalini. I don't know how to summarize. But I told Shalini that I meditate every day, so it's quite easy for me to go on a different door and connect with my present and my core calling. But during, imagination, like one door I saw my inner, like little self, and I saw my current self, and I saw my future. And I talked to Shalini also, that's not just only involve me, but also my partner, and thinking of like build a family in the future, and how to also balance my entrepreneurial journey. And I saw that I want to be like the three of you in the future too. Like I could feel that the career has been really passionate with me, like resonating with me. That's why I would like to like learn more from you, the three of you.
Right. For playing along with that and for sharing what you experienced. When I did this many, many years ago for the first time, I can't recall all the different rooms I visited, but one of them definitely was I'm living in New York. No idea how that was going to come about, but then somehow that collapsed into my quantum reality, winning a green card, and it unfolded. So the power and magnetism in once we find a space we do like. But that's something we can explore again later. Thank you.
And imagine if this is what a few minutes feel like. Imagine being in an environment like this where you can connect with your higher self, your future self, and let that be your guide instead of the past guiding you. And it's just about making that commitment to yourself and taking the time out for a retreat. And our next one is coming up in March. Let me quickly share here with you.
So 21st to 26th of March, lovely pictures. The web link is also in the chat if you want to open that. But we will follow up with you. We're a minute from time. So this PDF is in the chat. We will email each of you with content. But I suppose in this last minute, as well as a checkout word, does anybody have any immediate questions? You can also follow up with us one-to-one.
Yeah. And the three of us are staying behind for a few minutes. So if you'd like to stay back and have a few questions, we are here.
Otherwise, should we do a one-word checkout? I'm feeling happy and intrigued. I'm passing the ball to Tonga.
I'm feeling connected and energized.
Thanks. Who do you pass it to?
Pass the ball to Kiat.
Yeah, I'm feeling curious.
Who do you pass it to?
I pass it to Alpana.
Feeling intrigued, lots of questions.
I'm feeling curious as to where we go. And to you, Tiina Maija.
Thank you. I'm feeling inspired.
Wonderful. That concludes our hour.
Thank you.
So feel free to drop them. We will definitely follow up with emails and share some information. But please stay on.
And thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. And we are here. If you have questions, Alpna, you can bring your questions on to us.
I'm actually going to soak this in, read up more about, the link that has been provided, just to get a little bit of an understanding, because I don't have clarity on it. So I would like to read up in it, and then I will pick your brain on it.
Sure, absolutely. Anytime. You have my number.
One, you can just kind of tell us just a gist of what you do at the retreat besides the meditation and the yoga. So for 6 days, to
Yeah.
kind of get an understanding of what a day would look like.
Yeah, so typically our day starts with Tiina Maija taking us into yoga and some meditation, which sometimes we do as our group, but the center where we do the retreat also has a meditation practice every morning. So sometimes we join them, it's an option. Then there is breakfast, and then after the breakfast, we have our first session in the day, where we start with, what are we cooking? What's happening with us? Well, it starts on the day one with, what brings us here? What are our intentions? We set up some founding principles, frameworks that will guide us through the process. On other days is what am I processing through the night? What have I been processing through the night? The insights. We have different tools, some creative artwork. We have, sometimes going for a walk, sometimes looking at some cards and listening, sharing. So there's a lot of collective wisdom that comes through. We have different questions that we bring to the room. Maybe, what am I seeking? What's holding me back? It's a very organic process, which is very difficult to say this is what happens, but it unfolds. There's a lot of unfolding happening and an intricate weaving of uh, some frameworks provided for everyone to process things through. There are lots of pair shares, small group shares, journaling. So there's a morning session, then we break for lunch, then we have an afternoon session, and then we have evening meditation. And there is then the night session, which is typically to do something with a body movement. And then we go to sleep. We include, time in nature, reflective walks, reflecting on prompts. What begins to happen is we start to look at how our life has formed us to be who we are, who we might become, and how do we create some kind of a roadmap to start on that journey, experimenting. Anything from you to add, Tiina Maija?
That would be my takeaway.
To add from me to what Shalini has shared is that while it sounds quite a full daily agenda, there is plenty alone time and reflection time built into the program. All the meal times are really leisurely, 90 minutes to 2 hours, and it's all really honoring the retreat spirit in that there is no, while we do try to keep to a time schedule of sorts, we have few sort of poster holders, such as that the morning yoga is at, I think we did it 6:30 every morning. That starts the day, but then breakfast follows at 9. So, there is plenty of time to take your time. It's not a very doing rich week or 6 days.
What would my takeaway be?
So whatever insights that you come out with, when we go in, there's some letting go happens, there's some letting come happens, some new way of knowing, doing, being that comes for you. And then creating a roadmap to how do I get to bring that, manifest that is your takeaway. So there's something that shifts within you and how to start living from that new you that is emerging is what you take away.
Thank you.
And an additional takeaway, I would also say, is being with like-minded beings. So possibilities for a new community, a new sense of belonging with other people, like a new tribe. That's another thing. And simply that allowing, treating yourself the time to be you and, just you, all about you for that time, rather than clients or, any other constructs that we all live in the usual day-to-day.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. And the link is there. The website link is there and the flyer is there. You can have a look at them. And you can, of course, reach out to me anytime. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Alpna.
Thank you.